We're on YouTube, guys.
Oh my God, we're on YouTube and Facebook.
I know, at the same time, simultaneously.
Going places.
You whore.
If Momo can do it, we can do it too.
Well, I mean, for those who say you can't be in two places at one time,
Man, it's awesome.
it's happening.
And time's already started.
Yeah. So,
What a time limit.
who wants to bring it in? Somebody else want to bring it in?
What do we
Do it. Intro. This is like our first legit YouTube
here?
video.
It's like from over the top.
Okay.
My name's Marlon, Mr. Classic, bringing you guys the 3 Crafty Bastards. Now, what are we gonna?
And the movie.
I don't like the name that she gave her because I can't even say that.
No. Okay.
Just making
okay,
sure.
okay.
I'm just saying. I can't even
I'll
say
say
that.
it.
You're looking at her like,
I'll say
can I
it.
say
Should
this?
I call her out?
Hey, you
I'll
call her
say it.
crafty broad, you know? Crafty chick, crafty dame, crafty
bitch.
I think Dame is
Yes.
worse than
Say it.
Is dame even worse than
No.
like, saying
No.
Alright, crafty
Well,
broad.
I don't know because Dame just kind of seems
Crafty
like you're
broad.
weak.
Yeah, but
That
nobody
would be
ever
one.
says like, you dame, like out of anger.
Yeah, whatever happened to
Yeah.
broad? You're being a broad.
Alright,
You're being a real
See?
dame right now.
I'll be a crafty broad. I'll go by crafty broad. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Alright.
So,
Crafty Slim.
3 crafty bastards.
Crafty Slim.
And we have a guest sitting in with us tonight,
Yes.
the Crafty Broad. And what we normally do for people that are ever going to see this on YouTube is we do beer reviews. We might do a cake review. I don't know. We talk about all different kinds of things, movies, sports, politics, all kinds of entertainment. We usually have some sort of subject matter that we talk about. But for right now, we just want to kind of kick things off tonight. It's been a while since we've been on, and we want to do a beer review.
YouTube wouldn't know that.
Yeah, YouTube. Well, I mean, then go find us on Facebook and make friends because...
Is that what Facebook's for?
On
Yeah,
Facebook
Son of a
as
bitch,
3
I got it
Crafty
all wrong.
Bastards.
Yeah, entire time.
we're on Facebook as 3 Crafty Bastards. Go like the 3 Crafty Bastards page.
I thought it was for memes and bullying people.
I mean, usually memes first.
That's all of social
always.
media.
Yeah.
But I thought, that makes
Yeah.
more sense. That's
Yeah.
why my friends listen so well.
You've been doing it wrong, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So tonight, what we are going to do is we're going to bring you 2 different beer reviews, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Captain Marvel movie because I'm sure we all have different opinions on it, and then we might even bully Marlon a little bit about how he's not seen the new Endgame trailer that dropped this morning. So,
Hey now, I haven't either.
Hey, this is peer pressure.
But
No, it's
but,
not.
but you would watch it, right?
I don't give a
Like you tried to pull it up, and I had to stop you.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so, I mean, as soon as we're done here, she's going to go watch the Endgame
I
trailer.
mean, you're not wrong.
Is Marlon going to watch the Endgame trailer?
Hell
No,
no.
he's not. No, he's not. Okay, so the first beer that we have up, and I'm going to bring it to you because we made it,
No, you guys made it.
is a beer that we like to call First Dance since it's our first beer.
Oh,
Right?
That's
Right?
I
adorable.
like that.
That's super fucking adorable.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so First Dance, check this out. Right there. That is the first beer that we made. Quick little story behind it is that I got a beer making kit back in December for Christmas, courtesy of right here. And I put it off. Finally, we decided to take a weekend and we did it. And it is a Chinook hopped IPA, which if you can zone in on Marlon right now, he's nodding, but he hates IPAs. I hate them. So we decided to play around with it a little bit, and we bought 3 pounds of blackberries, fresh blackberries, and pureed them, and then put that in with second fermentation in hopes that it would have a little bit of a blackberry IPA taste. Some of the different reviews I've gotten around work is that one guy said I couldn't taste the blackberries, but it was a good IPA. Another guy said you definitely get the IPA, the Chinook hop taste. The blackberry was very subtle on the back end of that. So this is the first time that we've all tried this in our drunken state of hanging out.
True.
But this is the first time that we are going to taste this with a clear palate. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and plug Emmett's too. I bought the growler, but it doubles up as something for me to store beer in because we made like 5 gallons of this shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it? I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's gotta go on a weekend.
I know, right? I'm surprised I'm
You're
Oh,
not
come on, strong man, you got this. Oh!
Ooh, hello.
This is why we do it live. This is
that's
live.
fucking awesome. So, of the things that I was worried about is whether or not it would produce carbonation once you added the curing sugar to after the second fermentation.
And, ladies
what did you find out?
gentlemen,
Ladies and gents, it produced carbonation.
We need a rag.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here.
I'll grab a rag.
I'm afraid to like even
It's gonna
open
go
this.
skilter for a second,
And I was going to ask you if you're going to do a sword opening.
No, that thing would have been on the fucking ceiling. You see how far it shot out?
Yeah, it did.
Like what?
That was full of inappropriate jokes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, oh shit! Ooh.
So now what we have is a bunch of awesome shit covered in First Dance.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We'll wipe it down later. And then we also have what we're gonna call beer cake now, because it's sprayed all over the cake.
That's what the Germans would have wanted anyway.
Exactly.
That is what they would have
German
wanted.
chocolate.
So yeah, a few things that I was concerned about was, one, was it really going to pick up the taste that we were trying to achieve? Two, the carbonation, because the carbonation process is a little
Well, we
different.
just got our answer for that. So
yeah.
check.
Found that one out.
So now during the pour, insert dirty joke here, I'm curious about what the head is going to
Mm.
Yeah.
Probably gonna
And-
be
Oh,
frothy.
you might want to keep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang on to
Yeah.
this. Man, I wasn't expecting that.
Round
Yeah. We got some applause though.
Yeah.
And do it again.
Oh,
All
my
right.
goodness.
Okay, we're just.
That thing is like rolling. So, here's what I think. I think that this beer has cured a little longer than some of the other beers. Like when we opened it,
Yeah.
I also think that it's in such a quantity that it's been. I can't even open it. It's been under pressure.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
Okay, hold on. I can't even open it.
If you guys can't.
Oh, you can open it.
Oh, I can open it. Here's what I'm gonna
Okay,
do.
lay
you want
the
the
towel.
cleanup
Lay the
process
towel down.
afterwards.
Just
No.
open that.
You should have just called the beer Mentos and Coke.
Just go step in the bathtub.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this in the bathroom to open it because there's no way that I'm gonna open this and screw up the carpet.
He's going to the bathroom because it's too much head for him.
It's
It
too
is.
much.
It's too much.
Oh.
So now I'm gonna do it.
I
in
can
the
only do
shower.
that pun once. Come on, guys.
I mean, I hate to. It's interesting.
In case you did not hear that, that was a nice oh shit that we just heard.
I had a beer that did that, and it sat too long. It's probably all head.
It sounds like the shower is going right now.
I know.
It's water. Oh, yeah, he does have the water
I was
going.
gonna say he had to have a shower. That's a lot.
We turned this from a beer review to a commentating session.
Yes.
Should we?
What are we at right
This
now?
is a-
8
We're
minutes.
at 8 minutes.
I
We'll
know.
be back in
it's
12.
right.
You got 22 minutes.
He's gonna come back with this much beer left.
I
So,
know.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the
Get 4 shots.
right.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I did that with a beer from Summit, and I brought it back in the bottle, and I wasn't feeling it for a second. I was like, I'll try it. And it was just a lot of air came out, and yeah, it foam was everywhere. When I tried to pour it, it was nothing but foam in my cup. Nothing but. So if anyone's a beer expert,
I feel like
And
it
then any
hasn't
reason-
sat that long though.
it doesn't take very long,
I was
especially if
gonna
it's
say, I
not.
feel like it didn't. Like you have to let it.
Yep, and mine
know,
was in the
further the-
refrigerator. We're not beer brewing experts. We're just
No.
beer tasting experts.
We're still. We got this out.
We
there.
taste it, we don't make it. So we're diversifying.
We're like
our
movie
portfolio.
critics.
We're diversifying our portfolio here.
Well.
There's a lot of head involved.
I'm gonna go check on him and make sure that everything is okay.
So maybe while she's gone, you can talk about Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, for the people on YouTube, they don't know this. People on Facebook, they might know this. I was gone last week. I was gone from Monday to Thursday, so I couldn't do too much. I had a family emergency that we had to go down for.
A lot of it is. We must have bottled this last. Okay, so honestly, I'm gonna have to take a second and go get another one. And here's why: because I decided to take this and open it in the shower, and now the shower looks like someone had the Hershey squirts.
Oh.
Like it was like it literally.
It was all head, wasn't it?
You ever popped a bottle of champagne and like how it goes everywhere?
Yes.
That is exactly what just happened.
So I tried to get you to do the sword.
See, I told you it'd be like this much left.
There's not much. So I really kind of tightened this thing and it was under pressure.
Good job.
I'm gonna go get another one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get
Thank
another
God
one.
it's not Ice Ice Baby.
Huh?
It's kind of crooked, but you know,
I got you. She'll come in and move it here in a second.
probably. Anyways,
Bouncing
you can't do that nowadays. No, as an update, like I went down from Florida because we had a family emergency. I had a family member that's not doing too well. But I went down there and I wanted to check out some of the breweries that were down there because I mean that's a completely different area, so you might get a different flavor, different whatever. And I don't have my phone with me because you're watching me from it.
Ha.
Oops. So I don't have the Untapped thing in front of me. So I'll give you a short synopsis of it. I went to 2 different breweries while I was down there because I was kind of tied up with other things while I was down there. One of them that I went to was called J-Dubs. It is in Sarasota, Florida. They have an amazing venue there.
Nice.
You walk in and it looks like a little tiny brewery. And then you go into the back area and they have an entire backyard that's nothing but sand because it's a beach environment. So in the back you have cornhole, you have
Holy shit.
you have beer pong with basketball and trash cans, which if you're familiar with a lot of breweries will do that. And it was just a really cool environment. They even had their tiki torches were growlers.
Wow.
Yeah, so they actually took growlers, put a wick in it, and filled it up with kerosene or whatever.
Right.
And they turned those into the tiki torches.
Nice.
Brilliant idea. But I got to try 2 different beers while I was there. I don't know the exact levels because, like I said, you're watching me from it. I had a poolside beer, which is more of a casual pilsner kind of thing, and one that was called Cowbell, which was a chocolate milk. I believe it was supposed to be a stout IPA, but the stout was very apparent.
That's unique.
Yeah, but the IPA wasn't. It was you tasted instant chocolate milk, and then a light hint of hops at the very end, and that was it. And then the flavor was gone.
Yeah, I think the chocolate's overbearing.
Maybe, but it was really good.
You know how much hops you'd have to dump in order to taste the hops in that.
Yeah.
Those are usually at different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
So they married them. So that'd be unique.
Yeah, I'd be interested to take that. By the way, Jermaine, yes, cake. Second of all, this is coming to you tomorrow. You're going to get a little bit of first dance. Hopefully this does not open the same way that the last one did.
Hopefully not.
I'm telling you, man.
To the sword.
That mofo was like
Sword
Old
it
Faithful.
open.
Like,
Butter knife it open. So something.
when I opened it in the shower, it damn near shot to the ceiling. I was like, oh my god. Help. Wasabi. So I opened this over the sink.
Insert inappropriate joke.
Right. I opened this over the sink. And
And the
you
head
can
is still
see,
going.
we still got a pretty decent
It's
head on
going.
that.
And here it comes. While he's pouring that, the second brewery that I went to was called Motorworks Brewery, which is right on the outskirts of Sarasota. It's in Bradenton, Florida. And that one was a really, really cool brewery. It was nice and open, very industrial interior with it. But it was very similar to Brewworks, the way that their beer is. And I got to try, I can't even pronounce the name of it, but it was basically a pepper chocolate porter. So it was extremely spicy going down, and then you had a hint of chocolate at the very end of it, and it was also a 10% beer. So it made you feel quite well after that little spice that went down. But it was probably one of the coolest breweries I've ever went to because the inside was very industrial, and then you go on the outside, and the entire outside is just patio, and it's like 100 yards out of patio. You have different games that you can go on each one of them. They had a huge oak tree in the center of it that had blue and white lights around it, which in the nighttime was gorgeous.
Wow.
And on the wall, they have a projector going, and it was playing Field of Dreams. And I asked the guy about it. I said, do you guys have movie nights? And he goes, dude, we only play 90s music and 90s movies here. That's all we do. And I'm like, beautifully done.
Right.
So if you're a 90s baby, that is the perfect place to go if you live in Florida.
Very nice.
All right. So where are we at with these beers?
Well, we're back and we have it poured.
We're back.
Right.
15 in.
We've at least made it that far. Oh damn! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now let's
So-
pause it.
Yeah, let's just pause it for a second, man. We'll get back.
We
to
gotta
it
catch
after
up.
Yeah, we got to catch up because we spent 10 minutes of that trying to figure out what the
right.
fuck was going on.
You know, never in the history of us doing this podcast did I ever think that we'd say we were doing 10 minutes ahead right now. Okay.
Nice.
Very nicely done.
Yes, definitely. So,
Hey, what's today?
yes, sir.
Give me some.
Yeah.
Yes.
Today is actually 3/14 as well. So pie, steak.
Steak and BJ.
Yeah, you got it. And dude, you was promoting that shit. We were talking about it earlier. I was like,
I put it on my Facebook page.
I was
Yeah.
like, there is the representation of mankind
So-
right there.
So does that mean like after this podcast we have to jet the fuck out of here?
Well, I haven't had steak yet, so.
Or they said for married people, it's just steak day.
Oh, noted. So, this beer, back to this beer. We made this. It's a Chinook hopped IPA. We bottled it on 3.3. It cured until 3.10. This is our first batch. It's 5%, and I don't know, blackberry. I feel like it's kind of up for debate. So we're all gonna have a swig right now and honest beer review. This is the first beer that we've made, so we'll see how it tastes, and then we'll decide where we're gonna go from there. Because I've already got the second batch made up or ready to go.
Oh,
So
gotta clank it.
there it is.
I wanted to go in for the sniff. Because the sniff, definitely, you can smell the berries in the sniff. If you take a good whiff.
I feel like that little bit of tartness at the end.
And I don't know if it's how long it's sat or maybe it's a person's palate, but I can taste the berries in it. I can. Unless I'm confusing with hops.
Blackberries are tart. So as opposed to like blueberries or even raspberries a little bit, I think blackberry is probably the more tart of that berry family.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you that because if I ever have any friends that have a entrepreneurial business, I'll support. Would I drink that on my own? Probably not.
Right.
Because it's an IPA, everybody knows I don't like IPA.
Right.
But I would get that and maybe gift it because it's not terrible.
It's not extremely.
It's not terrible, and
yeah.
it's not hoppy.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't drink it. But I know some people that probably would, so I would definitely gift it.
Very nice. Very nice. Corey?
I like it.
What do you
I mean, yeah, for some reason, it reminds me of like a beer that New Belgium would make. It kind of tastes like a New Belgium IPA.
It's the Chinook hops.
Possibly, but New Belgium, for some reason, they don't add a lot of their flavor beers. It's more of the hops that you taste.
Right.
So that's what I'm more getting at this because, like you said, I mean, you get the blackberry at the very end, but it's not like boom right in your face.
It's not like blackberry.
So-
it's just the tart.
I think it comes in
Right.
stages.
Yeah.
It's like it's layered.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of beers I've seen
Like
where you get an initial. To me, it's light going in. The immediate aftertaste, I can taste some berries.
Mhm.
But if I don't drink anything immediately afterwards, I'm getting hops.
Right.
So for me, it's
Yeah.
just kind of layering out the more I don't drink
yeah,
it.
I can
I mean,
agree with
this
you on
is-
that.
For me, this is kind of like a good start if you're not used to IPAs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think this is a starter
Damn
IPA.
you, Corey.
A good transition beer?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
This is
Yeah.
a very good
just
mixture
got-
between like a Pilsner and an IPA. So you just get like this. It's a little bit harder. I like it though.
So, a few things that I was worried about. One, was it going to produce good head?
It produced great head. Let's just
yeah,
say that.
clearly it did. Over the top head. Second of all, I was worried about the taste. I was worried about whether or not the blackberries were going to be prominent at all, whether in the forefront or the follow-up. And third, I was worried about whether or not it was going to produce alcohol. So we got a a tester that will tell you how much alcohol is in it and measures the gravity.
Hydrometer, right?
A hydrometer, yep. Which is how we know that this is 5%, because we measured it. Now, going into the next batch, what we'll do is we'll measure it right before we get ready to ferment it for the first time, measure the gravity on it then, and then we'll measure the gravity again right before we get ready to bottle.
Nice.
And that will determine the alcohol content.
Nice.
And how much it's cured. So, in true gladiator fashion, as we always do.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay.
You're going to hurt his fucking feelings,
No,
Marlon.
it's all right.
Come on, Marlon.
I feel like the next one is going to be the kicker. The next beer that we have slated to make is going to actually probably be pretty dope.
Yeah.
So,
Gonna be IPA?
no.
No.
Oh.
It'll be a pale,
Ooh.
but it might be cherry.
Cherry melon.
Cherry
I
melon
could hug you right now.
with whiskey barrel chips, aged in whiskey barrel
Holy
chips.
cow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I have all this stuff downstairs.
You thought of me.
I thought of beer. I thought of success.
Cherry.
Okay,
Oh, God.
so in true gladiator fashion, for First Dance, which was our first dance, our first beer that we made, 3, 2, 1. I kind of like it. It's homemade. I like it.
I support my friends. And
I
they're
mean, you could like teeter a little bit.
I'm teetering.
I'm teetering between middle and up.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. I mean, because it's his, and I support my friends. I mean,
So he's going to lie to him.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie to him. It's not
But this is a beer review, not
But-
like a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
like,
saying, I don't think it's not the worst IPA I've had.
I feel like
It's
very
it's one of the better ones I've
I
had.
Yeah.
feel like considering that people do this professionally and you hate their beer, I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
what I'm
ta- I'll
saying.
take
It's,
that right
it's not bad.
Yeah.
You guys say it's a good stepstone. I'll never step fully, and I'll never do that. By the way, I'll never do that. But this is again, like I said, it goes in light. It's refreshing.
It's very subtle. It's not over the top
Yep.
of hops
Yeah.
like what you expect from
It's
a
just when
I
it's just
honestly-
when it sits in the aftertaste is when you start to really taste the hops.
I mean, I honestly would take that home and I could
I
probably
get the
drink
tartness
like
a
2 or
blend,
3 of
so-
those and it easily.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy drinking beer.
I think it was a very good first try.
Very nice. All right, success. So, Jermaine, if you're still watching First Dance, I'll bring this to you tomorrow at work.
And that's where he cuts out. He's like, that's all I want to know.
He's like, shit, I just got to make... He actually messaged me. We talked yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'll bring it tomorrow, and then I forgot. And I seen him today, and he's like, I forgot. Did you forget? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll message you and make sure you bring it. It's like, got you.
Damn it.
He messaged me while we were still at work. What good does that do? I'm like, I
You're
was
thinking
about
about
work
work.
right now. Yeah.
That's where he hears from like the grapevine. Oh, he went home sick for a little bit. He'll be back though. Oh,
right,
sure he did.
right. He just,
Sure he did.
He ran home on lunch.
Yeah.
No.
Said it was a family emergency.
Okay, so that's awesome. That's not so awesome about how the shower looks with that other growler, but
It'll wash down.
And lie and say it was about the beer. You had tacos earlier, didn't you?
dude, that's what it looked like.
God. I had Taco Bell.
Honestly, you know what I think is some of the yeast may have still been active in that.
That's what I wondered.
And that's why it kind of took off that way, because it was bottled, then it was under pressure, and then when you release that pressure, that yeast has been working the entire time.
Yep.
So that motherfucker,
Dude,
it was
almost
off.
with any beer though, right? Like I was telling them when you were gone, I had a beer that I brought back from Summit City, and I had it sit in my refrigerator, and it was in there honestly for probably a couple months.
Right.
I wasn't feeling it, wasn't thinking about it. I was buying other stuff. I was like, yeah, let me try it. It just foam everywhere, just head everywhere.
Yeah. So
I even tried to pour it in the glass, nothing but head. So
yeah. So was it Lay's?
Did
you get that? Did you get that?
That was good. That was good.
what are you doing, dad jokes for?
Hey man, I'm just saying.
But I think I wonder if it was the same way. Like if it was
still active.
yeah.
It continues to be active. The longer that you let it sit, like we're gonna take a 6-pack and we're gonna set it back and we'll drink it this summer.
On the beach.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe that's a good
That
idea.
way, if it explodes, you can just set it
You're
back.
right.
But I kind of thought 4th of July party.
That would have been hilarious
And-
if we took it all the way to the beach and just like, oh, it's all head. What the fuck?
Throw the bottle. In the lake.
Yeah.
No. I thought maybe like 4th of July party, I would put back a 6-pack of every beer we make between now and then, and kind of host,
That'll be
with
interesting.
home brew.
That's gonna be a lit party.
Yeah, it always is.
Just don't throw fireworks at me this time. Please don't.
Wow, I wasn't there for that.
That
You said I
happened
can
last
make
time.
no promises for you on throwing fireworks.
Last 4th of July when you guys were lighting off fireworks and one just kind of tilted down in between the bushes. Run! I still have the video of that on my
I do
phone.
remember that.
So then next up, while I'm getting ahead of the subject, is this.
What is it about
I
head
was
today?
gonna
Jesus
say.
Christ.
Oh, Lord.
He is really into the steaks and BJ Day. I'm just saying. I am just
I mean,
saying.
I really just said ahead.
He is
Right.
he is subtly hinting at it. He's using a psychology.
Took like a pause there.
No, I did not. I was thinking of my next line.
Everybody hide your kids' eyes. It's gonna be a hard couple minutes.
Easy. So the next beer that we have up,
I don't gotta put it in a glass though.
You don't have to.
do it. Is,
I don't want it to mix with yours.
It's a pretty
So then finish
Tough
it.
shit.
Check this out. We got
This is why you're a bastard.
Short Salt Parade, which is actually a great beach beer. Last time we had this, it was on the beach in Michigan
you
City.
guys
Oh my
had
god,
this?
yes.
Well, not this one.
You guys have always.
There's 3
Yeah.
different variations of Shorts
Yeah.
Parade.
Either you guys drink a lot, or what am I saying here?
Check this out. Check that out.
Which
You
That's
one
guys
a-
do
have
you
always.
think it is?
You guys have always had something like it's like this is all new for me.
yeah, the one that we had on the beach was actually lemonade.
Yeah.
So it was like
Oh,
a,
yeah, that was that-
beer
Was
lemonade.
that that
It was made by the
blueberry
same people,
lemonade
but-
one?
No,
There was a blueberry
that-
lemonade.
That
was
blueberry
that
lemonade shandy, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you guys
that's
brought that.
Saugatuck.
Oh,
So he makes
okay.
that.
That's good.
The same people that make the Neapolitan milk stout.
Oh yeah.
So it's out of Michigan.
Ooh.
So
Shoot.
this is Shorts, which is also out of Michigan because we all know that Michigan makes the best beer. Out of Michigan, out of Elk Rapids, and this is a fruit ale brewed with blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries at 7.5%.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
You got my attention on that one.
Yeah. If you can look at the color,
It's pretty.
It almost looks like a
is
rosé.
pretty.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
It really looks like a rosé beer to me.
Mhm.
I don't
Rosé
even
cider.
know.
Is
if
it
you
the
can
lighting
really-
here? Is that
It's
pink or it
rosé.
almost has a
It's
brownish
got
tint?
something like that.
It's
What is
pinkish. I
What's
think
that?
it's the light. Here you go. Check that out. Look over
Here.
here.
You see my text with him?
Yeah,
They,
that's a nice color though.
Yeah.
Rosé.
Very nice color. See
So-
how the different fruits getting married in the glass.
Yeah. Very. It looks very light. It looks very refreshing. It looks like it is going to not taste like an ale or have the texture of an ale, but probably have the texture
Cider.
of a shandy.
Oh,
Well, did you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
cider.
Yeah.
Just the carbonation in there is the only thing I look at that maybe would give me that next level.
Yeah.
I'm chilling out till my head goes down a little bit.
Oh man, there he is.
Yep.
Oh, everybody's trying it. My head's not.
Where
going
you
down.
are smelling it.
Oh,
Shit, I tasted it. Sorry guys, jumped the gun.
he
So,
licked it a little
Yeah,
bit.
premature.
Oh.
Oh,
Whoa.
Today's innuendo
and
day.
on to the steak.
Innuendo.
This is innuendo day.
Yes. So, what do you guys expect going into this beer? I haven't tasted it yet. Obviously, you tasted it, Corey. What do you think?
I mean, like I was telling her, it kind of reminds me of like a rosé cider just by looking at it.
Mhm.
It looks light, but you do have a little bit of dark. I don't know if that's just my glass or,
Nah,
but
it's
it's like a
the
little
tint.
bit of darkness at the top.
Could be the tint from your hand that was overshadowing, but I'm
Possibly.
saying when he had it up there, that was probably the truer color.
Yeah, it's definitely a
I see
Yeah.
a little bit of
pinkish
the
in
ale.
color.
I think you're gonna get more of like a combo between a pilsner and cider.
I expected
Kinda
a
taste
cider
to it.
before tasting. Sorry, I jumped the gun, but I did expect a cidery, very fruity, sweet taste. So
I have a feeling
Alright.
we're not
See,
gonna
that's
get
what I
that.
expected. That's what
Let's
I
give it a
expected.
go.
I'm just telling you what I expected. I didn't say what I got.
All right.
That's what I kind of expected.
I will say one thing.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I expected the tart.
If it wasn't for the carbonation, it would remind me of a mead.
Ooh, yes,
Ooh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
It would, because it's that light. But if it wasn't
Right.
for the carbonation,
See, I feel that this beer is more dense than it looks.
it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
It looks pretty light. It looks like it's gonna drink
Did you
light,
start the time up again?
but then
I think it's gonna drink like cider.
This is
Cider's
why we
something
go for
great.
3 hours, dude. This is why. Because we stopped the timer at 15 minutes, and we only went for 20 minutes. No, we didn't.
We also need to make mention. Part of the reason that we have a special guest tonight is because she chose the beer.
I did.
So when we give our gladiator fashion and it all goes thumbs down, we know who to point to.
Well, here's the thing. Can we talk about why she chose
This is why you're only a
Why she chose
no,
it?
no.
Yeah. I mean, she's right there. Why'd you pick it?
Because, I mean...
It's pink. I mean, really.
Duh. No. I mean, I enjoy the more fruitier... I enjoyed stouts during, like, wintertime and stuff like that, but I wanted something lighter, because today was a very nice day.
Very nice.
Very nice weather, so it reminded me of, like, summertime, like, you know, we're getting there, we're working our way, you know.
We're in fall spring right now.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So,
Spring.
therefore, I felt like we needed to find something
Spring.
that went with the weather today that kind of fit, so cider or ale or shandy, and considering this is so fruity and, you know... What with that?
Also, can you give us a little insight to why we're staring at this German chocolate cake?
I mean, why are you staring at it and not
Why
eating
wouldn't we be staring
Exactly.
at the German chocolate cake?
it? Exactly.
Why? There's no wine here.
And,
The only why
right.
is why are we eating it?
and
Why
because
are we
there's
not
no
eating
knife
this?
and there's no plates.
You're not wrong.
Bam.
I mean,
Or in gladiator fashion.
Right.
So,
dig in.
someone
Okay. Mhm.
just had a birthday,
Yes.
which is why I was, we were like, hey man, sit in, choose the beer.
Mhm.
So this is why we have this cake to look at, is because someone just recently
We're
celebrated
only
a
looking
birthday.
at this cake?
Yeah, it's just for
Yeah,
looks, man. I'm
exactly.
taking it back to the store, actually.
Son of
when
a
we're done with
bitch.
this.
I know,
Fuck
right?
you are. I'm eating this shit. I don't know about you.
You
All about
entice
that
me
cake.
with beer and then make me
Right.
stare at a German chocolate cake. No, that's it. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
that's it. That's a wrap. no cake and brew day.
Man.
So, in true gladiator fashion, guys. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Yeah,
Ooh.
Marlon, tell us what you didn't like.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Come on.
I was
now.
trying to be nice
Come on.
in the tasting of this
Don't take off your
fruity
shoes.
ale.
Man.
Right?
It is the carbonation. It is.
Okay.
I don't like the flavor.
The density and the
It is
texture.
the density. It's almost deceiving.
Right.
Like you look at it, think, oh man, it's gonna be really nice, and then like you said, the density comes in, the carbonation's there, and I'm unless I'm drinking, I don't really do fruity beers, but I will do a cider. So mentally, I have to know what I'm drinking, and I know what I'm drinking. I couldn't do it.
So,
Mm.
as a segue, and you talking about what you expect versus what you got, you will not watch the Endgame trailer
I will not.
that dropped today.
I will not.
Can you tell us why?
His morals are very, very
They
solid
are.
all the way through.
They are.
Yes.
If it
they
is
are
not what
stable.
I expect, I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Proud of you on that one.
I've been let down in previews. So my thing in the last couple of years is I've dropped. I maybe watched the first preview, and because it gets your hopes up, like you're going into a movie expecting it's going to be so awesome. Then you get to the movie. Well, where's the part that I saw in the preview that made it look good?
Right.
So you all know with a lot of the Marvel previews, some of the stuff ain't in there. Like when we watch Infinity War, you see all the guys running through the jungle. Where was that scene at in the movie? So
It was running, but it was different people.
it wasn't the scene that we saw in,
Yes.
in the preview.
Right.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that I don't. They're already going to get my money. I'm already excited. I was excited last year.
Right.
So to know that it's coming, and I still say I was forced to watch Captain Marvel when it came out. I'm just saying, but it wasn't the same. It's the expectation build up. If I have high expectations going to a movie, that movie better meet these expectations, or I'm going to be pretty salty.
Now-
I honestly have a feeling that I figured out why he's single.
Now, what if the scene that you saw in the trailer from Infinity Wars is actually for the second part?
Okay, then don't play with my emotions.
They have to. It's
I'm
Marvel.
emotional when I watch these movies.
So, and I've tried to encourage Marlon to go and watch the trailer. Like, I understand why he's not doing it
Exactly.
because
Stand
he
up.
doesn't.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you don't want the oversaturation of the possible story,
Right?
and you don't want to be like, oh man, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. I better see this in the movie and not this.
Yep.
Right.
I get it.
I want to go in. I want to see the movie for its pure cinematic value.
Mhm.
So for me, the previews to me can take away from some
That's
of that
cheating.
stuff. To
Right.
me, I mean, it's just taking away from some of it. So if I watch too much of it and I see too many scenes, I'm expecting to see these scenes. So I'm sitting there watching the whole. This is gonna be a 3-hour movie, looking for stuff that may or may not be there.
Right.
So the only thing that I have is what I've seen from the previous movies. When we talk about Ant-Man and Wasp, because the quantum realm, and then with like I said, being forced by Captain Marvel. So with those two, I'm only going to hold on to those two versus I'm sure there's going to be some amazing stuff.
Right.
So I want to be surprised. I want this to be like a
Right.
huge. I want a naked lady jumping out of the cake in this movie.
Nice.
Is that fair?
In a similar kind of situation, though, do you stay for the end credits?
I do.
I was gonna say.
I stay until the screen goes black and they play the music coming.
Okay.
Yep.
If you haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, cover your ears, because
If you haven't seen Captain Marvel and
What
you're
are you
watching
doing?
this,
What are you doing?
Okay,
what are you,
okay.
honestly, what are you
hang
doing?
on, hang on. I'm going to defend those people because I just saw it last night. So I mean,
Mm.
I understand if you're waiting a little bit, but they basically had a trailer for Endgame.
We don't kill turtles
At
in
the
this
end.
house.
Appreciate that.
I'm just saying.
Sea turtle conservation, dolphin conservation. I'm totally
Break it.
with that. That's exactly what I do at home.
I did.
Exactly what I do at home.
Oh, you did.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
We're not distracted at all.
No. Shiny. Squirrel.
Right.
Squirrel. Okay. At the end of Captain Marvel, though, there's almost a I don't even want to call it a preview, really, but it's like
clip.
it's a clip. Thank you. It's a clip
Or is it?
of I don't know. It may not be, but it was almost a segue into for the new Avengers movie. Did that bother you at all?
Nope.
Or was it you just felt like it was part of it? So if you see that in Endgame, you're not going to be like, oh, okay.
No, because you haven't. How many of those post-credit scenes have you seen in a movie? You've seen bits and pieces and references, but have you seen that clip in a movie?
No. So
No.
I'm saying if you see that in the movie, will you be a little bit disappointed?
No.
Okay.
I feel like the post credits have, if you really think about it, over the last two movies, the post credits have really told an additional story of what's to expect.
Right.
Yep.
It's almost like a little puzzle
Snippet of
piece
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the next movie.
Yeah, the pager, and then
But-
Captain Marvel, and then they have it,
But-
and she shows up.
But here's the funny thing.
but-
well, we're going to talk about never mind.
But I mean, I feel like the way that the trailer was set up was the pager would not be in the beginning like that. It wouldn't be the before the movie. There's going to be a build up into the pager.
I liked what they did.
I mean, I
Are we
love
talking
what
about
they did.
Marvel yet?
Yeah, look, anything that you have seen as far as Endgame goes, you've only seen clips from the first 20 minutes of the movie.
If that's even the first
Because
20
that's
minutes.
what they announced.
If that's even the
That's
first
what
20
they
minutes,
said.
though.
Can you really believe them? Can you trust them?
I do.
They
With
pretty
something
much
massive
lied
like
almost
this,
the whole time.
yeah, but with something massive like this, to have to follow up a good movie like Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars, aside from a few different parts, was exactly what we expected. So we were, once Infinity Wars was over, and once the screen went black, we were like,
See, and
Right?
I think they make previews for people like you who want to break down and digest and overthink. I
yeah,
don't know about overthinking. I don't know. I mean, just when you
Overthink.
investigate
That's
certain
what most of us
I think
comic
that's-
book fans do.
I think that's what you do because you wanted to. You had a little bit of a contest to see who was killed first in Infinity Wars.
right.
You guys were
Oh, yeah.
dissecting who was killed first. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just want to watch the movie.
Right.
Right.
So I can imagine.
I won, by the way.
You did.
You
Ah.
did.
So I can imagine. So you're anticipating what's going to happen in the beginning or whatever. I don't know whatever else you have going on for the beginning. But I don't want to sit there and think about, okay, I won that one, or I don't sit there and watch it happen and just let it hit me.
Yeah, but the thought versus the visual are essentially two different things. So like to sit there in my mind and formulate how I think things are going to be shown or how they should be shown could be something completely different to how they actually are shown. You know, I forgot who did we say was going to die first? Vision. I took Vision.
Yeah, you took Vision.
I know somebody took Loki.
Yeah, I
Somebody
did take.
took,
I did take Loki.
Yes, yours was Loki would die first.
none of the major
But
ones.
you said Vision would die.
None of the major
he
characters
would
died
Yeah,
in the beginning.
that's what I said.
Yeah. So I was actually 2 for 2 on that.
No, you had everybody picked 3. So I don't remember who your last
I
one
did
was.
not.
But anyway, so
We got like 4
I mean,
minutes
it's
left.
kinda-
So about this Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk
Anyways.
about it.
Yeah.
Get to know us. We're tangent people.
We have what's called ADHD.
Right.
Don't know how we got it, but you know.
Hmm.
Beer helps me focus.
Well, you know what? The one thing I thought in Captain Marvel, and this may or may not be a spoiler or whatever, but the cat that they talked about, Goose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought the
Oh my
cat
God.
was actually going to be the cat from Men in Black.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
I
Little
thought-
crossover.
Yeah,
Piece.
I thought possibly, but obviously because that cat was kind of special in Men in Black. It looked like
I kinda
the
got
same
that.
exact cat.
Right.
I kind of
If he
got
had
that.
a
Got that
little
vibe.
Yeah.
universe on his collar, I'd have been like, "Holy shit!" Men in
They
Black.
Hold up.
They done
Hold
did
up.
something.
Hold up. Especially with Thor in the new one.
And
Thor-
Valkyrie.
And Valkyrie's in the new one, yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Valkyrie's in it too. I forgot about
So
that.
I thought that would have been an awesome crossover.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool.
Well, I mean, technically. With
so
the
were you
tentacles
satisfied with
from
what
that.
happened with the cat?
Yes.
Juice.
Yes. The cat to me was
I-
a minor character, although they made a big deal of it with him and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
But the cat's can I say abilities
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the movie were unexpected.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Very
knew that
true.
when they said the Firkins
But
were
I was
different,
gonna
they're not
say-
regular cats.
Yes.
I thought, well, what's so special about him? Is he gonna poop
Exactly.
fire or something? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, I thought it was an ongoing joke.
So
Yeah.
did I.
Yeah. I thought it was just maybe you know how cats are mean.
They like
So maybe the
pre-warned
cat
that
fucking
shit.
cat fought those whatever those aliens were,
Yeah. The,
So or maybe they were allergic to him. I wasn't expecting like I was not expecting that.
Right.
So
In case you haven't seen it, spoiler.
I tried to say spoiler. If you're spoiler, turn
Oh,
it off.
yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah, we
turn
say
this
Again,
off.
spoiler
Go see it
after we
anyway.
give it.
Again, if you haven't seen it, it's your fault.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, you're missing out.
Actually, do you know the numbers on that? 454 million over 3 days.
You know why?
Women's Day.
Nope. Well, maybe.
I think.
But you remember?
I don't think
but
that's
don't
a
you?
coincidence.
It's like
I think-
it's the same theory I gave you before I saw it because I felt forced to watch it before I watched Endgame.
right.
Well, a lot of
but
it
it's
too
on-
is it like leads up. It leads into something. So
Barely,
therefore,
though.
with Infinity Wars, it did great. Like quite a bit of people went and saw it because they're like, oh, this is gonna be big. Like this is big with Marvel. And then next comes Captain Marvel, which ties into the next one. So it's like another big thing because if you don't see Captain Marvel, like you're gonna miss something.
Exactly.
Considering at
I mean,
the end
that's
of
the
Infinity
Exactly.
Wars.
genius. That's
why I
the
felt
genius
forced.
concept behind Marvel. They're like, if you miss one, you're gonna miss all of them.
Exactly.
Right, but
Right.
the only thing that you will miss going into Endgame that you could pick up in Captain Marvel is the fact that she's involved. Because chronologically, if you look at where this movie takes place,
This is the beginning.
It was way
no,
up for
it's
everybody,
not-
basically,
it's not
right?
the beginning. It takes place after Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yes, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
And it takes place between that and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the second movie.
Yeah, it's the second movie.
No, wait
Because-
a minute. Was it
because
not
Fury-
before that? Because didn't
No,
Fury
because
have? Did
Fury's,
he have both eyes?
No, Fury was typing up the Avengers Initiative at the end of
Oh,
that
I
movie.
love that part. I like
And then
that
he
part.
presented that to Tony Stark
Correct.
in
However-
Iron Man.
Okay. So when did he? Okay. So wouldn't this be before those two?
But
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Chronologically?
Chronologically, Captain America, First Avenger,
Nope.
Captain Marvel.
Mm.
Because he
No,
only had
that
one
was in the
eye.
'60s.
Because
Didn't he only
it
have
was in
one
the-
eye though?
No, it was in the 40s. Nick Fury wasn't in the first movie. That's where they first
was
discovered the Tesseract.
no.
it was the end credit scene.
Exactly. Because what happens is in Captain Marvel, or not Captain America,
Too many captains.
yes,
30 minutes.
they discovered the Tesseract, yes.
Captain, my captain.
But at the end of that movie, he does have the eye patch on when everything's going down, and he's explained to Captain America
In the
why.
In the 2000s, though.
But I'm just saying,
It did
if you
skip
look at
ahead,
it chronologically, not movie chronologically, but
But that's-
time
Okay,
chronologically,
so don't watch the end
this one
credit
should have
scene
been
to
first.
So just
No.
don't watch the end
Yeah.
credit scene for
How
Captain
do you
America.
put the
Watch that
90s before
after.
No, no,
the
no,
40s.
no. Okay, so it should have been Captain Marvel.
So Nick
Cut
Fury
that
was
part
in the
out.
40s?
Cut the no.
The end credit scene.
Yeah.
After he
end
woke
credit.
up, though, right?
Yes,
After
and
he
he
woke
woke
up.
up years
So
later.
you have to remember that
I'll give you that one. We can go on.
Captain. No.
So stop
no,
the
now
movie.
No,
we
you're not going to explain
No,
now
that.
we
I
need
get
to
it.
establish it.
I get what he's saying, but
No, I
at the same
understand
time,
that.
it goes, all right, Captain America, do not consider the
There was a
post-credit
time
scene.
just
You got
because
to-
when
There
he was
was.
frozen,
Yeah.
when he woke
Yes,
up.
exactly.
Stop at
So
2 hours
within
of
that-
Captain America.
No, it goes Captain America. Within that timeline, also, like, a few years later, like, while Cap is
Her
frozen.
movie's
A
in the
few
middle of
years,
time
While-
it's
America.
like 70 years
Okay,
later.
sorry. Not a few
You're-
years later, but
You're really gonna have to
years
some
later,
video editing skills to watch
while
this
Cap
entire
is
thing.
frozen is when Captain Marvel
Right.
comes,
Right.
and then they wake up Captain
Yes.
America.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
You're right.
So I'm saying her movie was in the middle of that movie.
Yes, it was.
Technically.
Kinda.
Technically,
It's just,
yeah.
it was before the
The
post.
only reason I'm only sticking on that because when he popped up with one eye, because he had both eyes in her movie.
Right. So
But
Yeah.
Even if
I
he brought,
understand.
even if he brought
You know,
the initiative to Tony Stark later.
I am going to be honest though. I was very, very disappointed with Captain Marvel, with the sincere fact that that is the only movie that I've ever seen with Samuel L. Jackson where he had both eyes and didn't say motherfucker.
I
was-
He
I was
hinted at it though.
disappointed.
He
Yeah.
said, "Mother."
Yes.
He was close. He didn't say it though.
He did get close.
you know who else I enjoyed seeing in that movie? Agent Coulson.
Yes. Was he
CGI. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Probably a little bit.
He
to
looked
make him look
super
younger.
duper young.
Yeah.
But so was Samuel L. Jackson. You have
But
to
in
remember
all
he's what,
honesty,
70s?
in all honesty, did he
He
need
did
CGI or just hair? I
He,
think he just
had
had
the
hair.
same hair.
No,
The
he had a
black
little
and
bit of a
white
wave.
was-
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a wave
Was
going.
Coulson or Jackson?
Coulson.
Coulson.
Colson had the same hair.
No, he had a little
He had
bit of a
more.
wave.
I used to watch Colson when he
Yeah.
was on the.
He had a
Shield.
wave.
No, he was on a TV show before that
Oh yeah.
You're right.
with what's her name? The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Yep.
Oh my god.
With Julia
Yes.
Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oof.
yes, that's the one.
History. I like
Wow.
how we just said fuck the clock on this.
Yeah.
one. We're just.
I mean, anyway, so
This is what happens.
let's go around the room real quick. Obviously, we're gonna give our opinion on Captain Marvel, but
We haven't even
Since
really
you-
touched on Captain Marvel.
since you felt like you were forced to see it, and now that you've seen it, would you recommend it or no? Can you skip this movie and go to Endgame?
I almost think I can.
That's two different questions.
I almost think I can. The only reason I say that is if you have a superhero pop up, you can always. I think you could have had an origin story for her anytime. Just like you jumped into some of these movies, the origin can come later. That's the
Right.
mistake of the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad made a ton of money, just like this made a ton of money, because it almost like you want to see if it's any good in the transition.
Right.
So when you look at these DC movies, are they going to have any good DC movies? So the Suicide Squad comes out. You got Will Smith, and that's really about it. You got.
Did you see who
Why
they
would-
cast? They recast it.
Yes.
I'm
Ooh.
in. I'm
I'm
in.
in.
I'm still not watching.
You know
I
I'm
may or
in.
may not watch it,
It has my man crush.
fine ass.
but I think this one. I'm glad I did see the origin story. I did see the hopes and doubts and dreams of Carol Danvers.
Right.
To see where she had. She came along, but my thing is, what is she gonna? How much more development are they gonna do of her character? Because they're gonna have to.
Right.
If she's supposed to be one of the more powerful,
The
Is she-
most powerful.
is she more powerful than Thor? Because Thor's a god,
We had this discussion.
and we're not gonna get back into
We're
it because
not
we're
gonna
gonna
get
be here
into
all night.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's still my thing. Is she gonna show more power than Thor? That's my anticipation.
But the thing is,
Tune in next time.
yeah,
I'm done.
pretty much.
So can you see Endgame without seeing this movie?
Yes. Because, in all honesty, I think it put pieces together that you didn't really think about during the entire series that you have so far. So it was basically like going, here's a couple of the loose ends that we left at the beginning. Here's the answer. Here's the answer. Here's the answer. And you're like, oh, duh, that makes sense then.
Right.
And so, I mean, we didn't have that up until now. So, duh, we could have skipped this one and went straight in. But it did tie up a couple of ends, so you ended up leaving the theater going, I'm happy. I know this information. I know how that got there. I know how he has the eye patch now. I honestly wasn't happy with, like, as dark as that animal could have been. I was expecting him to like rip his eye out, do something.
Something.
It was a fucking scratch.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Tis but a fucking scratch.
But
That's all it was.
if you remember what he played it out to be in the office, and they're like, "Did you really get your eye?" And I'm not gonna say it because that's a big spoiler. But did you really get your eye out? And he's like, you know,
I can't say that it didn't.
Yeah.
I can neither affirm nor deny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he played that shit out, but
Yeah, but I was kind of disappointed with that scratch, but when that, I mean, it was a really good movie, but you could skip it to go into the Marvel, like continue with the MCU, but it was a very good movie. But what I expected in this movie was kind of how Wonder Woman was, where it was just like a powerful woman force and beating the shit out of all the male like initiatives kind of thing.
I think
it just felt normal.
Yeah.
It was very, very normalized, and it was like, huh, okay, cool.
They said they wanted to go away from that.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that they did.
Exactly.
Because with Wonder Woman, it was just like being pushed down my fucking throat, and I'm like, I get it, but it's still a good movie.
Well, it was
it's
only
woman. It's woman.
Exactly. That's the
it was
only
a good
reason
movie.
why it was so popular, so pushed, so
Yeah.
everything is because it was a
Wonder
woman.
Woman was a good movie.
Yes,
I mean, it
very
was.
good.
It
And
was really good,
and
but
yeah, I mean,
the
I
motive behind it.
absolutely understand that, but at the same time, it's like it's a
Mhm.
movie, and for a movie itself, it did great.
I think
And
she
for
went,
this one, it was good, and it was whatever. But they didn't shove that down my throat. It was more like
Right.
we're equals.
she had
I
a
love
universal appeal.
Yeah.
Yes,
She did.
It
Yeah.
wasn't just a girl power
and I'm
movement. It was universal.
so glad that they did the Mohawk costume. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Yes.
I was like, how are they gonna do this? And all of a sudden, her hair kind of went up and went into the head.
Right.
That's I'm like, got it. All right,
Yeah.
cool. I liked it.
I was thinking that the shade.
All right. So
Nice.
I think yes, but there's always a but. Okay.
Everyone says yes to butts.
Exactly.
Nice.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
Yes, but if you are like me, you
Not
want-
everybody.
I didn't say
We
every
didn't
butt.
say
I said
every
yes
butt.
to butts.
Yeah, if you're flatty
Yes to
patty,
butts.
no thank you. But anyways,
Don't point her after that.
No,
Yeah.
she's got a point.
what the fuck you trying to
Oh,
say?
I thought you
Say
were.
I'm-
I
got
knew what he
it.
meant. I knew what he meant.
You trying to say I'm flatty patty?
I heard what he did.
I knew what he meant.
I heard what he said.
Okay.
So
Well, anyway.
Anyway.
All right,
Carry on.
tangent. Okay.
Come on, Marvel.
Come on. All right. So if you're like
You might as
me,
well
you
stop
want
and
an
make
origin
it
story.
fun.
You kind of want to see like what's next with the foreshadowment within that movie, like how this happened, that happened. It kind of puts the puzzle together. So that's what I got from this movie is you get like a touch of the origin story behind her, which I thought was awesome. Like you don't need to know much about her. She was just a regular person. Yeah.
How many pieces did they put together?
I mean, like
It
for-
wasn't
It was
really
like
a
3
lot,
or 4.
and they were
I
kind of
mean,
minor.
Well,
like
exactly, but I'm just saying, like, if you're like me, I like look at the small details, and then I'm like, oh shit, that makes sense, or oh, that's how this happened, yada da da, so on and so forth. So when I was watching this, like, I'm seeing that unfold, and
like the Ronan thing. Ronan
Yeah.
thing, like what?
That was awesome.
Yes.
I did
It was like,
that
oh
part.
my god.
exactly.
Ronan
So
the accuser.
yeah, so you get like these small little things, but yeah, over the years of watching Marvel, they add up, and you're like, oh shit, like that's a why.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we talked about the post-credit scenes at the end, but I don't know. I enjoyed the movie just for the simple fact of, one, it was comedy. Samuel L. Jackson.
She was a smartass too.
She was, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Jesus.
I loved it. Like, honestly, she became my favorite superhero. I told him, like, during the movie,
Over
like,
Deadpool?
yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Only reason why is because one, smartass. Me, smartass. Two, she is so determined, and that's why I love. Like, you were talking about the whole Wonder Woman thing,
Mhm.
and how it's always like, oh, she can defeat this, da 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 da. Hers wasn't about, oh, I'm super strong, like I'm gonna defeat you. No, hers was, I'm determined. Like, I'll be knocked down so many times, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep doing my thing because I know I can. I can persevere this.
Yeah, you had that part where she kept getting up and
Yes,
getting up and getting
and
up.
that
and
was
getting
the
up.
part that I was like, the whole time, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, especially when it came to that part where it was her and, like, the woman that she looked up to the most.
Mhm.
And that was, like, going through her mind. I'm like, yeah, you get up. Like, that's right. Determination, you know? Like, stubborn. It's you being stubborn, but yeah, it's getting you somewhere. So, I enjoyed the movie, but as for, like, in-game, no, necessarily you don't have to watch it before in-game. But if you are like me, like I said, you want the origin, you want, like, a small backstory, not too much, go for it. And?
Last
No.
but not least.
I certainly don't think that you have to see this movie before you've seen Endgame. Any more than I think you had to see Ant-Man before Infinity Wars.
But that
Black Panther was a little more intricate because the battle took place in Wakanda, so you kind of need to know what happened.
I think with Ant-Man, though, it added a nice little twist that, like, left you in shock at the end credit.
The end credit?
Yeah,
True.
no,
Ooh.
for Ant-Man and Wasp,
True.
yeah, but the original Ant-Man?
No, I'm talking about Ant-Man
Had
and Wasp.
nothing to do with anything.
It didn't.
No.
It was
That is-
it was
that is the
character
least
development
used.
for Civil War.
That is the
Right.
least used one out of the series, though.
So-
Ant-Man, the original
Still one of my
But
favorites,
if-
though.
It's very good.
That's the point. Is that it's still one of your favorites.
Yeah.
It's a filler movie.
Yep.
Mhm.
To hold you over until you get to the meaty part of the story that you want to read. It's a panel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is a panel.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's the truth.
Yeah,
Captain
it is.
Marvel is designed to hold you over until you get to Endgame, and
And
then
here's
after
the thing, it was only a month
Right.
and a half.
right, and then
That's
you got to
dumb.
consider like 2 months after that you're going to get the next Spider-Man story.
He was a $30 million.
I think it's still stupid. That's why I think it's stupid.
But then that's it.
Honestly, that's why I think it's stupid. I think you bumped up Endgame a
But
whole month for this.
They bumped
When
up,
they really
they bumped up Endgame a week because it was originally designed to release on May 5th.
in
They bumped it up the week before.
either way,
Wait.
it got bumped up for what?
in all honesty,
For
though,
the same reason they did
I
it
am-
last time with Infinity War.
It's still stupid.
I'm actually happy that Marvel did not take the Justice League approach, which is
Disaster.
I'm gonna yes, I mean it is disastrous in the thought process. We're gonna give you the meaty story first, and then we're gonna go back to the origin story so you can go back on them. Justice League did that, and they're still continuing to do that. And with Captain Marvel, they're like, I know it only comes out in like a month or two, but we're gonna give it to you before.
Right.
Because they honestly could have just dropped this movie 2 months after Infinity War. Or not Infinity War, I'm sorry.
It could have been in the fall.
Endgame.
You still enjoyed it.
They could have dropped Endgame and then dropped Captain Marvel, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
It will make a difference once you see Endgame, though.
Money wise,
But I'm saying,
money wise, it would.
The
But
story.
Do you think that
but
they
I'm saying
people-
like it's like Aquaman. It's like Aquaman, where you drop Justice League and then you drop Aquaman. But with this one, it'd be you drop Endgame, you drop Captain Marvel afterwards.
There's a reason.
I mean, I understand it,
There's a reason that
but
the
there's a
page
reason
happened.
you shouldn't do that.
No, there's a reason that the page happened. There's a reason that at the end of Captain Marvel, you see her show
Yes.
up at Avengers headquarters, asking where Fury's at. And you have to consider a few things off the movie. Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, contracts all up.
Yes.
Captain Marvel is slated to be the new hero to lead into the next phase of the MCU.
And that would explain why Nick Fury paged her.
So would
it's a
you?
foreshadowment.
So
yeah.
Even though we're over time,
Way over.
we're about 15 minutes. But would you say that this whole movie was only off the aspect of explaining the pager?
Here's what I will say. I will say that
don't give a politics.
No. Here's what I'll say is that I will say that currently we do not understand the implications of this movie the same way that we didn't understand the implications of Iron Man or Captain America First Avenger or Incredible Hulk or even Thor until we got the Avengers.
We got a better idea though.
Yeah. But I think this whole aspect was
if you want to speculate though, then you have to speculate. And also I want to say before I lose this train of thought, any coincidence that Thanos has 3 scratches on his face the same way that Nick Fury's got the scratches on his eye? I'm just saying.
Everyone was anticipating those scratches.
Well, I mean that or the Disney Fox merger, Wolverine.
I saw that one too.
Because the Disney Fox merger happens next week. And Disney has already said that they are doing an X-Men and Avengers movie.
Can they let Thanos go away?
Hang on.
Yeah, and here's what I'm about to say. Here's what I was going to say originally.
Hang on.
Thanos is not the one pulling the strings.
Is the last.
Did you hear who's going to be the next supervillain?
Galactus? Yeah. Okay, so do you know why Thanos...
And here we go on for 2 hours.
No. This is all I'm going to say, and then I'm done. The theory is that Thanos wiped out half the universe so that Galactus had nothing to consume. So that he would no longer keep interest in consuming planets.
Yeah, but
now with the Disney Fox merger,
is he
you
eating
get the
what's on the
introduction of the
planets?
Silver Surfer.
Is he eating what's on the planets, or is he eating the planet itself?
He's consuming the
So
planet
do you think
itself.
you're going to get a Thanos Galactus?
No.
But I think in true Marvel fashion, just when you got the Avengers, it wasn't Loki pulling the strings, it was Thanos. Now that we've culminated in this huge 11 years worth of movie making, it's not going to be Thanos pulling the strings. And it may not even be him vilified because people related to Thanos in Infinity War.
Sure did.
Yeah, because he was an anti-hero.
Right. So going into Endgame, they have a chance to redo it. What if they find out that he's actually working for someone else? They're going to do an Eternals movie as well.
That's an awful lot of shit tied together.
I just read this theory.
It's
Some
Bill,
speculate
Bill.
that Black Panther did the damage to Thanos' face.
Ooh.
And
Anyway, that's all I got to
Is that
say.
Right.
comic books or MCU?
I'm on this.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Movies.
Well, it was. He had the
I'm okay
scars
with that.
beforehand.
I'm okay with
But,
add 10 minutes onto that.
anyways.
Good God, it's 11.
So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. We
Anyway.
have to finish up.
Anyway.
I work in the morning. I'm good.
No, I got you. It's Friday, though.
Dude, I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's gross.
I do have to take paper.
That's so gross. So,
Yeah.
what did we cover tonight, man? We got beer. We decided that beer and
Yeah,
growlers
like
with a little bit of sediment in it is a horrible idea.
Oh, I was going to rock, paper, scissors.
We also decided that Marlon does not like short brew. It is recommended if you're looking for something light to drink, but it is
Yes.
kind of
dense.
You said light and dense is oxymoron, right?
well,
like jumbo
if you're,
No,
if you're
no,
looking for
it's-
something light to drink that's not like
Cider. That's what you need.
that's
is like
not
cider.
in season. That's what I'll say.
I'll give you that.
And there's cake to be had. So with that being said, through Crafty Bastards, I'm B. Smith.
Crafty broad.
Just say
Or
it.
in
Just
jail.
say it. Just say it. Come on. Come on.
Crafty bitch.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You had a
Or NJ. NJ I can handle.
G.I.J. What'd you say?
NJ.
What's NJ?
Naomi
Spider-Man?
Jean.
Naomi
Naomi
Jean.
Jean is their middle name.
Jean is my middle name.
NJ.
NJ.
You've gotten a new name for me.
I instantly thought of like Dark Phoenix.
No,
When I heard
it's like
Jean.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
No, I understood Mary Jane.
Yeah,
But-
MJ, except
Yeah.
NJ.
But when you said Jean, I was like, Dark Phoenix.
Anywho.
The Nooch.
Let me get back to this picture. Mr. Classic.
All
My
right.
bad. See my
Alright.
Through
face?
Crafty Bastards, go and like our page on Facebook.
Yes.
YouTube now.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now.
Oh
This is
my
our
God.
first
Are we doing
legit
hand
YouTube video.
cuts?
Hello,
Yeah,
YouTube.
we're doing YouTube. We're doing YouTube shit. We're
Hacksaw
about to go
Jim
eat some
Duggan.
cake, possibly
here's
drink
my
some
dude.
more beer.
Oh,
Everybody
really?
say happy birthday to Naomi. Say happy birthday to Naomi.
Happy birthday,
And we're out.
Naomi.